It's really a great honor for me to introduce our next Public Citizen of the Year, Phil Keller. He's one of my heroes. Before telling you why Phil is an NASW Public Citizen of the Year, though, I want to thank a couple of people for helping me pull this nomination together. My friend and colleague, Raquel Bras from Shannon, provided a lot of information for me for the initial letter. And Phil's brother Ed very sneakily obtained Phil's resume.
By loving brothers.
Without finding out. Thanks both of you. Thank you very much for your help. Phil is the president of Harvest of Hope, an organization dedicated to helping migrant workers economically, educationally, providing advocacy, and providing, as one support letter stated, love, support, and hope. I first became aware of the conditions of migrant workers when I moved to California in the late 60s. I lived near the Salinas Valley and drove through there many times and saw firsthand the appalling conditions that migrant workers lived and worked in the vegetable fields. It was a time when Cesar Chavez, another one of my heroes, was struggling to bring Farm Workers Union into being. Moving from California to Miami, I saw the same conditions and became a volunteer for the Farm Workers Union. Sadly, many of these conditions still exist. And if not for organizations like Harvest of Hope, Phil, his staff, his volunteers, this population would continue to be ignored. Phil has dedicated most of his adult life to providing help to migrant workers. Harvest of Hope has distributed over 900,000, I think you said
34,000
to assist migrant workers. The foundation has collected over 3,000 pairs of shoes to distribute to migrant workers across the country, provided legal support, made needed health care possible, and many, many other services. I really couldn't list all the things that Phil has done because we would be here a really long time. But you can go on their website, Harvest of Hope, and see for yourself what this organization is all about. And I would urge all of you to do that and to donate money. My introduction to Phil's work was calling him for assistance for a family I was trying to help with transportation so their child could get chemo. One of the characteristics that so impressed me with Phil is that he never says no. Somehow, even when funds are low, he says, let me work on it. And he somehow finds the money and gives the help that's needed. I don't know when he sleeps because keeping funds available for assistance for so many needs and people must be a 24/7 job. His dedication and compassion is worthy of not just one award, but daily awards. I'm grateful that he's in our community. Thank you, Phil, for all that you do.
Well, Dan, I'm not going to read my poetry because my family will walk out. But we're going to wait till April 14th, Raquel, and we'll dance out. So thank you very much, everyone. I've been a migrant advocate for farm workers for 24 years. I don't have a degree in social work, but I'm a quasi-social worker for migrant workers, and I've dealt with car breakdowns as migrant farm worker families have traveled across country to work the fields, housing, medical services, rent, utilities, food, clothing, bus tickets, sadly funeral expenses, but more positively scholarships for children of migrant farm workers. So I applaud your work because we have a kinship, because I'm basically a social worker for migrant workers. Secondly, as you all know, we deal with the human condition, and this award means a lot to me because it's nice to get a pat on the back once in a while, doesn't it? There are several individuals that have been major influences in my life that I really would like to quickly tell you about. Number one is my grandmother, Professor Helen Zahn, who's no longer with us. She was the first college female professor at Gannon College in Erie, Pennsylvania. And she was a social worker for many years. And she's the one that gave me the inheritance to set up the foundation in her honor and her memory, which I'm very proud of. Next would be my parents, who unfortunately cannot be with us. My mom is 86, my dad's 94, but they're with us in spirit, and I think they're quite proud. With me today are the individuals that are most influential in my life, and I'd just like to go around the table and introduce them, and then have all of you give them a nice round of applause. First is, everybody knows Ed, my loving brother Ed. And the best sister-in-law in the world, Sergeant. Ed's wife. And then my nephew, Dylan Kellerman, their son. Dylan has a rock band, so if you ever want to have a benefit, we'll supply the earplugs. All right? Next is Natalie Norris. Natalie is the director of the Alachua Multi-County Migrant Education Program, which covers 12 counties. They provide educational services to the children of migrant workers. Natalie oversees the Alachua Migrant Fund of the foundation, so we can provide aid to migrant workers in Alachua County. And Natalie's been a longtime colleague and friend. I'm so happy to have you here. My great friend Robert Shulman from Connecticut came down to be with us. Thank you, Rob, for all your support. And I'm going to hold off on one person in just a minute, but we have our new PR media coordinator, that's Cal Culligan. And I was told that this woman is the biggest influence in my life towards the foundation, and that's my daughter, Bianca Vasily. I want you to all know that she just got accepted to FSU and to Flagler, okay? And I'm trying not to be too influential between FSU and Flagler! She's used to me embarrassing her, all right? And with Bianca, it's her mother, Blanca Garcia. Thank you, Blanca, for all your support. And we have our intern, Marissa Tweed, with us. And the last person, this is the best executive decision I probably ever made with the Harvest of Hope Foundation, and that was hiring Tom Romero as our vice president. Tom has put the foundation on a technological map, and basically he keeps me organized. Tom, thank you so much for everything. Thank you very much, everybody. Remember, migrant farmers earn our support.